you ready to be unleashed and unstoppable?
Are you ready to experience a breakthrough and step into your next level of leadership?
Living a life of power, purpose, and possibility on your own terms, unapologetically.
This podcast is for discovering how to play big, how to be unleashed and unstoppable.
Through wiring inner success at the source as you step into your full potential as a wildly ambitious leader.
We are
Lianne Carter and
Carol Register. We are certified Master Neurocoaches and the founders of Unleashed and Unstoppable You.
We're best known for being confidence-boosting, neurohacking, productivity, and wealth experts.
And for high-achieving leaders, visionaries, and entrepreneurs.
Now let's be unleashed and unstoppable. Hey, wildly ambitious leaders. We are excited to really dive into what do you do in a moment when you're having a moment? Like we all have those moments, right, Carol? When we're feeling it, right? We're feeling frustrated. We're feeling overwhelmed. We're feeling anxious. We're feeling like we're not good enough. Maybe we notice we're procrastinating, which actually creates that frustration. I just can't get it right. You just feel this moment of shutdown, of the monkey brain, the internal chatter, and this whole self beat up of internal dialogue really affecting your ability to play big, your ability to show up, your ability to be productive, your ability to create results. And you start to feel it, like your body is feeling it. Maybe you feel that your heart is racing, your palms are sweaty, but you do notice that you are feeling something and probably feeling really uncomfortable.
Yeah. For me, it's knots in the stomach, or I carry it in my shoulders and my neck. Like I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. And it's always about coming back to when I think I just can't get it right. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not figuring it out. I'm not fast enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving, really. And this past week, I have had several moments. It's like the obstacles have come really hard and fast, which you won't believe this, but I'm literally going to tell you it is time to celebrate. And we spoke into the power of celebration. The reason that I say that is exactly what Lianne just said. We are playing big. We're moving forward. And when we are, there will be obstacles. And we get to lead ourselves, be on that executive level of thinking in a whole different manner, right, than we were before when we were shut down. But in the moment, I definitely feel shut down. And the brain is trying to keep me safe with this. It's like, phew, phew, phew. And the brain's going, hey, I don't recognize this. This is not familiar to me. And so it's not safe. And so it's going, ho, 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 move back over here. And that's where we get stuck, right? When we're having a moment.
So when you're in those moments, we want to support you, want to help you today in knowing how to tackle that. You're going to feel that resistance. You're going to feel something that's going to want to have you pull back, have you shut down, maybe have you go hide. A lot of times we call it, right? We hear this fight or flight freeze, right? Your body wants to have that as the outcome. And what we want to support you in when you're getting close to those moments, maybe you feel really reactive, is having some tools to support you in being able to interrupt what's going on, interrupt that thought pattern, get grounded, and be able to reset yourself, reposition yourself to kind of sort of get yourself together so that you can continue to play big, continue to level up. Yeah. When we look at being unleashed and unstoppable, it's being able to, in those moments, acknowledge, recognize how you're feeling, and then applying a couple strategies that Carol and I use to then be able to hit that reset button and then go at it again.
So important to be able to hit that reset button because as high achievers and leaders, growing businesses, scaling our businesses massively, It's so important to be able to make clear, fact-based decisions with our hearts, with our intuition. We're not disconnecting our hearts, but we're disconnecting our emotions, because when I'm in a moment, I am flooded with emotions. It may be sadness, maybe anger, maybe fear, maybe feeling anxious, whatever it may be, those feelings hit and I can't think straight. Where to put my keys? Do I have my charger with me? Wait, where am I going? What day is it? Oh, I haven't, right? And it's just this flood, and the decision-making ability really shuts down. And as leaders growing our businesses, as high achievers, we definitely want to be able to handle the obstacles, be in the solution, not be thinking about the problems, be in the solution already, and be able to make quick decisions, because money loves to move. And so one of the things that Alex and I have talked about is the ways that we ground and interrupt. And we've spoken about tapping. Tapping is neuroscience backed. And we've spoken about breathing. And for me, it's about power too. Where am I giving my power away when I'm in this emotional mindset of flooded with neurochemicals and all this stuff and all this is coming up and I'm like, shut down. What about you, Alex?
For me, it's that grounding piece. I kind of connect with the five senses. I start with my feet and just feel the ground under my feet, feel the pen in my hand, listen to the fan running in the background, listening to the car driving down the street, and just kind of walk through that. I may not always get to the full five senses by the, what do I feel? And then what do I hear? Sometimes what do I see? I'm already starting to notice that I'm able to slow down a little bit and then kind of get connected then to breathing. I know Carol and I have some breathing strategies. I really like the sort of counting in, doing the box breathing. I kind of use a more of a rectangle, sort of like a 3. Actually, I've done like 3, 4, 5, 6 to try to change the rhythm of my breath, which helps, especially if you are like me and experience a lot of anxiety, then it helps interrupt that. And so that's what I find really, really supportive. And then imagining drawing the box in my head really, again, takes the attention to drawing the box versus the emails that are needing to be sent, or again, maybe the to-do list or the presentation or the summit you're about to speak on or the podcast you're about to record. Just being able to take a second to pause and be able to pattern interrupt, get grounded, and being able to do, as Carol said, like quickly. When you're a leader, when you're playing big, money loves speed, time loves speed, success loves speed. So you are moving at a pace. And so you want to be able to, in those moments, pause to get yourself grounded, reset, to then be able to dive back into it. And I don't know how many hours, Carol, you have maybe lost. I know for myself, where I've just completely shut down. I haven't been able to focus. Just the way that I feel makes it sometimes really difficult to focus, to be productive, to create, right? It blocks your creativity. And if you are an entrepreneur and a leader and a CEO and you're running your business, being able to tap into that creativity is so important. So when you're feeling like you're procrastinating and you're going through the self beat up of what you're experiencing, that's blocking your ability to be creative. And so really getting you to that calm state. And Carol, you talked about power, and this is what we help our clients do inside of the Diamond Transformation, is really connect with this power statement. We help you build a personalized power statement, which is another strategy of being able to stand in your power and hit the reset button, get grounded, and then get back into creating those results, right? Getting unstuck and being unleashed.
Tony Robbins talks about the power posture. And I don't know about you, I am Wonder Woman. Yes, I am. Where's my golden lasso? And so, it really speaks into being on the burnout bus when we get in these cycles where we're having a moment and the moment's repeating. And the breathing, the box breathing, if you're a high achiever, we really lean into self-care. and you living according to your values and knowing who you are, having that white space around you that you need, being able to slow down in order to speed up, being able to bring simplicity in. And all of these things are helpful. That box breathing just traditionally is holding for 3 to 5, breathe in for 3 to 5, hold for 3 to 5, breathe out for 3 to 5. So hold, breathe in, hold, breathe out. That's why it's called box breathing. And we also, one that regulates the nervous system very well from a neuroscience perspective is the breathing in for 3 to 5 and breathing out for 4 to 6, like you're blowing out a candle forcefully with sound. So 1, 2, 3, whew, that regulates the nervous system. So looking at these pattern interrupts, and Alex and I often bring in bonus experts into the Diamond Transformation Program who will teach you pattern interrupting through tapping. Speaking into the power, where are you giving your power away when you're in these moments? You're flooded with the emotions. You're not able to make the decisions. You're not able to think creatively and move along with flow to the path that you're wanting to create. We speak of urgency, but can happen with flow and with simplicity and with us being in our self-care, with the space around us that we really need. And I get on that bus, on that burnout and that hustle bus where I can't stop. And I'm now anxious and I'm procrastinating and I'm doing everything but what I should be doing. And guess what? These tools and techniques really work to help us. We always, in the moment, in the instant, have the power of choice. And I love those power statements. And we get to look at, are we giving our power away? And that's very, very helpful for me personally, and maybe for some of you as well. So yeah, I love talking about power. And I know we're also going to talk about a major, major help, and that is gratitude. Having an ongoing, specific gratitude process. Because the science says that when you are practicing gratitude, it's almost like a real wall. A barrier is being built in the brain against anxiety. So that ongoing practice of gratitude helps prevent that anxiety from being able to creep in, because you're in this state of thankfulness and appreciation for how big you're playing, where you're already at, what you're already doing, and how incredible and amazing it is. And if you listen to our last episode, you're celebrating it, right? You're acknowledging that. You're acknowledging these major transformations you're bringing into the world, walking into your purpose, creating the reality and the life that you want to create. And with us in the Diamond Program, learning all about how to increase that time and money, expand time, increase money, increase your wealth, live according to your principles without the burnout. So I love this because those moments for me have led to being on the burnout bus.
And speaking to the gratitude, I love the example that and correct me if I'm wrong, Emily Ivagliano shared on episode 10 when she talked about like with her son, right? Like when he's kind of in this reactive state and this sort of things happen. And that's where your brain's at. Your brain is in this reactive state. And how what she has her son do is start with a piece of gratitude, right? Is acknowledging, right? Acknowledging, starting with gratitude, because it really does help move your brain from that reactive state and more into the thinking, the logical state, especially when the proactive state, and which is supporting with that productivity. A lot of times the high achiever, what's happening is that you're feeling this resistance, or you're trying to be productive and you're frustrated maybe because you're not being productive, and you go down this whole realm of self beat up.
Yeah.
But when you can pause, when you can slow down to speed up, when you can acknowledge, when you can interrupt the thought pattern, get grounded, do some breathing, and then acknowledge, be grateful for even the fact that you stopped to acknowledge yourself for feeling the way that you felt.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden it's going to release different types of neurochemicals, which is then going to be able to fuel the productivity and help you get back, right? We said earlier, the reset, help you hit the reset button, get back into what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And so what our action step today for you is what we invite you to do. And we do speak into this and we teach our clients this. And I think we've mentioned about doing an episode specifically on this. And I think that we get to that coming up here is the DIA, the decide in advance.
Yeah.
So what we want to invite you today to do is we want to invite you to decide in advance the next time that you feel that overwhelmed, you feel like you're procrastinating, you feel anxious, frustrated, you're noticing the internal dialogue about not being good enough, that you feel you just can't, just feeling like you're hitting this wall, that you feel stuck, is to decide based on some of the strategies we shared with you here today, what you're going to do. Are you going to get grounded? Are you going to do some tapping? Are you going to say some gratitude? Are you going to do some of the different breathing techniques? Like, what are you going to do next time? And this is the power of decide in advance, because in the moment, we can't necessarily decide in advance, right? So it's about being proactive in making a declaration. Maybe I'm all about the sticky note. So having a sticky to remind yourself, when I feel this, I'm going to... Carol's got her stickies, right? When you feel insert, when I feel frustrated, I'm going to. So then the next time that you get there, you have your sticky to remind you in the moment to pause and
regulate your nervous system and breathe, ground. Using the 5 senses is so powerful. And also a quick pattern interrupt that I learned that I love is nose, smile, toes. Because if you're in a moment when you smile, your heart hears it. So nose, smile, wiggle your toes, feel the ground, feel your shoes. Super powerful. And it helps us to stop giving our power away.
Yeah.
I love that. And the DIA, we're all about, Alex, Lianne, and I, we work with you to get rapid results in your time and money stories. And because we're integrated beings, it crosses over to a rising tide raises all boats. And so you end up leveling in every area of your life. It just unfolds and happens that way. And the gratitude and the brain priming, the work we do, actually, you can think, oh, this is a limiting belief could be, this is never going to work for me. It does work. It absolutely brings transformations. We want you to hear from our clients. We have multiple testimonials. This stuff is amazing, this neuroscience work we do. And we want you to know that those results are there and available for you. And we go deep into that. It's all about setting you up for success. And DIA is that. It is setting you up for success daily. I love this, Alex, Lianne. It makes me so happy because we can really lean in off of the burnout bus with the self-care, with a full cup, with walking into our purpose, our voice mattering, not being stuck, not standing in our own way, not feeling like failures, lacking confidence, fear, doubt, overwhelm, procrastination. The list goes on, rewiring those and knowing that we can be confident, capable, happy, and live abundant, full lives.
We study the high achiever brain. I mean, this is why Carol and I are so passionate about. So this is why we're able to acknowledge like what's happening, why it's happening, and how you can move away from that, shift it, interrupt it, change the story, change the outcome. We know that your success is inevitable. We know the work that we do the work, which is why we know that it works. And we're so passionate about diving in and really standing for you and the life, the goals, the joy, the happiness that you want to create. And it really is your brain keeping you safe, keeping you protected. We talk about the 3 roots of being safe and being loved and accepted and feeling worthy. And we know that that's what your brain is trying to do. And so when we look at those moments that we experience, that's an example of your brain keeping you safe. So that's why when you're able to, the decisions that we make impact the actions that we take, which impact the results. So that's why we really invite you to lean in, decide in advance when I'm having a moment, how you want to tackle that moment, and know that we're here. We're waiting for you to support you in being able to make it easy. It gets to be easy. I talked about this earlier today with some clients about it getting to be easy. And even when I say that, do you have any resistance around hearing that? Because you may have grown up with the belief around you need to work hard to be successful. And which is why when things start to seem easy, that you start to notice and your brain will find a way to make it complicated and be hard because of the thought and the belief that is potentially running around in your brain, which is I need to work hard to be successful.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be speaking on that in a future episode on all the biases that our brain has. And so thank you so much for being here today. We can wrap it up with you guys knowing when you're having a moment, you can stop and ground, you can breathe, you can tap, you can nose, smile, toes, use your 5 senses. You can use the tools available to you so that you are standing in your power. Come to work with us and do a power statement and stop giving your power away. Be at that high level, walking in the dreams and the purpose that you have. Keep playing big. We're here for you, and we're going to accelerate that for you in a major way.
If you have any other high achieving friends that you would find really benefit from this episode, we would appreciate to share it on. Pass the love around and subscribe. And we look forward to seeing you on our next episode next week.
DIA.
Decide in advance. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Unleashed Unstoppable podcast with your hosts, Alexander Carter and Carol Register.
If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review and subscribe.
That's all for this episode, Wildly Ambitious Leaders. See you next week.